People ask me a lot, what is it about motorcycles? I can't say that I've got the answer, really, but we're going to a place where you might not expect to find out. I'm on Highway 11 in upstate South Carolina, headed for the city of Chesnee. Most of the year is pretty quiet. But on the last weekend of July, things really heat up, and it's not just the weather. If you like motorcycles, if you're curious about motorcycles, or if you just want to come out for a really fun time, and you want to come here, it's time for Antique Bikes on Main.
This is Antique Bikes on Main.
Last weekend of July, Chesnee plays host to one of the largest motorcycle rallies in the Southeast.
What started out as a small event 10 years ago has now turned into an event that's attended by thousands, motorcycles and motorcyclists of all kinds.
I can honestly say I ain't seen this many bikes in one day.
Oh, it's been going on for years now. How many?
It's always been a good time.
The motorcycles are a plus too. I love motorcycles.
This is Dennis Harris. He's the creator and promoter of Antique Bikes on Main, and he's grown it into what it is today. It takes a lot of people to put on a big show like this. Let's talk with AC Button. He's a big part of why this event is so successful.
The first event was in May of 2005. It was small. There ended up being about 100 people that showed up. We didn't really think about it in terms of how many years we'd do it. Every year was bigger, and we did this year and we wanted to do next year, and then the next year we wanted to do the following year, because the first year was fun. And I really think that's what gave us the energy to get it going and to make it happen. The city has gotten so supportive with what we've done. We're not on some side street, we're right in the middle of town. And it's just great. It's a really special event, it's a special town.
Where'd you come from then?
I grew up in Chesnee, here all my life.
How do you like living in Chesnee then?
I wouldn't move anywhere else. You've got friendly people, you've got stuff like this going on a lot of times. It's just in good schools, it's a good place to live.
I was born in California. I moved out to Ohio when I was 12, and I met her. She brought me back here 3 months ago, and best place ever. I enjoy this more than anywhere I've lived so far. Long Beach, California ain't got nothing on South Carolina, let me tell you. Chesnee.
And they can bring their kids, they can bring their wife, they drive their car because their bike's in pieces, and they can just enjoy themselves. And the rides are free, the music's free, it's just a big party.
I think if you're watching this program, then you like old bikes. Or you might be wondering why people like old bikes. In order to find out, you have to go to where old bikes are and talk to the people who like them. I can't think of a better place to go to do that than Antique Bikes on Main.
We had done a number of other events over the years, and we just finally decided that we've got a lot of friends with old bikes, and let's just have an old bike event.
Sometimes they start out looking like this. And people say, what's up with that? It's all rusty. No, it's a piece of junk. You'll never bring that back. But to an old bike fanatic like me, this thing's a gem in the rough. We put it in our garage or in our shed or whatever, and it freezes in the winter, and it is boiling in the summer. But we go out there and we turn our wrenches and slowly start to bring the motorcycle out of this thing. And then, after 6 months, after a week, after 2 years, might end up looking like something like that.
are some of the people and some of the bikes that make antique bikes on Main so unique.
My father bought this motorcycle from the New Jersey State Police in 1947 for $75. He did a little bit of street racing, hill climbing, hare and hounds. So he had a ball. He even jumps a few bridges with it.
Well, what this is just a creation I built in the backyard of my house. The bike was kind of built because a friend of mine told me I couldn't do it. And that's how it got started one Sunday afternoon out behind my shop. And 3 months later, I was finished. Nice bike to ride. It's fun to ride.
This is an unusual bike. It's styled on the old CB 750s. This bike is retro styling, and I'm retro, so we just fit together really well.
Okay, this is a 1980 CB 650 Custom. I bought it at an auction sale for $150. It just really killed me to build this bike and not clean the rust off of it or delete the patina. Don't hide them, ride them.
I did this up to say thank you to our veterans. Custom paint, custom graphics, custom leather, custom powder coating. Let the bike speak for itself.
The Patriot Guard is a organization for veterans and non-veterans. They help the veterans coming back. The best things are the homecomings when we're at the airport to have them see us there and welcome them home.
They're the first organized women's motorcycle riding group. It was started back in 1940.
Well, basically, this is Betty. She's the first motor maid, right?
And I am a future motor maid.
We love to ride.
Tell me about your motorcycle.
I ride a 98 Suzuki. It's been fully redone. It's got a fat tire on the back, a 300 tire. It's pretty awesome.
So maybe you're not convinced yet that bikes really are awesome. So here's something that might help change your mind.
First time you do something really scary, you kind of have to grab a handful and go for it and not think too much. It's great. It's awesome fun.
Where we can kind of bring the techniques that we do on motorcycles to people who love motorcycles.
Man, we are having a blast. I tell you, Dennis with Chesnee Classic Cycles brought us out here and said it was going to be crazy and fun, a lot of good people, and he hasn't disappointed. It's been awesome.
This is different than a lot of events where they have a gate, you have to pay for everything. We just don't have to. And we just try to go with it. You know, I don't want to say we're like a kitten bouncing around the shop, but we are. We're trying to have fun with it.
And this is the Indian 50. This is thousands of motorcyclists' first ride. How long have you been riding?
Since I was 3. One of the first bikes I ever rode was one of those little Indian mini bikes sitting right up here on the street.
When did you first get into motorcycles?
I first got into motorcycles whenever I was, I'd say, 16 years old. I asked my grandfather if he'd help me find a cheap car, you know, and his answer to me in all of his grandpa fashion was, "What the hell do you want with a car, young boy like you? You need a motorcycle." Not a motorcycle, it had to be a motorcycle.
So how long have you been riding?
I started riding in 07. I was 67 years old. I tell people I never did anything in my life that's more fun than riding a motorcycle.
What made you buy that first motorcycle?
I took a ride on the back of the same motorcycle that I ended up owning, and that's all it took, and I've been hooked ever since.
And it's just a raw feeling of being out in the wind. It's just an extension of yourself. It's the part I really enjoy about it. I don't go for the destination, I go for the ride.
What's brought you out here to stand in the hot sun and be with a bunch of other people who are standing out in the hot sun, basically just enjoying motorcycles?
It's the amount of motorcycles, the amount of biking spirit these people have. You know, you can come here and you really meet people who really do enjoy riding. I just like it. it's just fun.
Doesn't matter what you ride, you won't find any attitudes here. Just a great time at Antique Bikes on Main.
We wanted to do something where people can come and enjoy themselves because we enjoy bikes and we enjoy people that enjoy bikes.
You like motorcycles?
I love them.
So what is it about motorcycles? I think there are as many answers to that question as there are motorcyclists. Come on out to Antique Bikes on Main. You'll enjoy it. You may not be a motorcycle person when you get here, but you may be one when you leave. I'm Mike West, and I hope you've enjoyed watching our program as much as we did making it. Now, I'm going for a ride. So see you next time at Antique Bikes on Main.
I had a great time on Antique Bikes on Main. Come back next year.